Greetings, comic bookers and comic bookies and comic fans and comic girls and comic guys alike. That's right, it is time for another episode of the Longbox Cast on the 4i Radio Network. This is episode number 57. Of course, we're recording on July 21st. It'll be released on July 22nd. So technically, I think we're going to be up to date on this one. But we are here to talk about, now this is actually, it's not probably going to be a small podcast, which is kind of funny because we will be talking about Ant-Man. Yes, there will be spoilers, and I'm going to say, we'll talk about it more, but I was pleasantly surprised with this movie. Of course, we got a bunch of cool stuff that's come out of the San Diego Comic-Con, Kyle's going to touch upon with some Power Ranger comics, and also there's the Why Did Batman Returns have the bat nipples. Technically, I thought it was Batman Forever, so I think somebody... I'm not going to say it's Kyle. I'm going to say it's probably whoever wrote the article, because Kyle probably just copied and pasted. For our first look at Storm and Quicksilver from the new X-Men movie, and a bunch of other stuff from Lucasfilm. So without further ado, we'll get our intro music going, and Kyle and I won't be singing, because apparently someone does not like our singings. So we'll have to come up with something new when we do everything. But anyways... here we go, comic fans. Excelsior!
None of us can do it alone. Together, we have a chance. We can avenge the wrongs caused by all these villains.
We can be Avengers.
Our world's about to break. Tormented and attacked. Lost from when we wake. There's no way to go back. I've been standing on my own, but now I'm not alone. Avengers assemble! Always we will fight as one till the battle's won. With evil on the run, we never come undone. Assemble, we are strong. Forever fight as one.
All right, of course, we are the Longbox Cast, episode number 57. You can find us at longboxcast.com, part of the 4i Radio Network. For more great shows, check out www.4iradio.com. Also, to listen to the show, you can listen to the show on 4iradio.com, Spreaker, iTunes, Stitcher, Zoom Marketplace, BlackBerry Podcast, Blueberry Podcast, Beaver Guide, Double Twist, YouTube, Swell Radio, SoundCloud, and Player FM. Of course, this podcast is brought to you by Revenge Lover Designs. Illustrates and designs that fit your personalities. For samples and inquiries, visit revengelover.com. Of course, we are a proud supporter of Comic Care. If you don't know what Comic Care is, that is a great foundation that takes your old comic books and donate them to Children's Hospital. So if you're like, I don't know what to do with these old comic books, but I don't just want to get rid of them or give them to some weird creepy guy at a comic book shop who's like, worst issue ever kind of guy, then you can go to comiccare.org, check out their page, go ahead and give them a like and that. We love everything that they do. And also, if you want to buy some cool swag from them as well, they have Comic Care t-shirts and decals and plenty of other stuff, and all the proceeds goes to the foundation. So even though you're paying maybe it's like $15 for a shirt, that's 100%, $15, boom, goes to the children's charity. So definitely check them out. And of course, don't forget Fantasy Escape comics, cards, and collectibles. You can find them in the Virginia Beach area, or find them online at fantasyescape.com. Also check out their eBay account. Just look for the user ID 50, that's the number 50, and Batman. All right, I think that gets all of our great people who support us and help us and give us money so we can keep this pirate ship afloat. As you can see, you guys can't see, but Kyle can see, pirate flag in the back. But without further ado, Kyle, what the hell have you been up with?
Well, I was just telling you a little bit ago, I went on a little adventure trying to fix my phone. So those who have actually been listening to podcasts regularly, you know that my cell phone has been a bitch lately. Plug in the cord, and I usually have to jiggle it to make it charge. Well, apparently all that needed to happen was just some dust cleaning out, and now she works like brand new.
Yes, which now makes me go, crap, that's probably what I should have done with my phone, and instead of having to pay $400-something now.
But not all is lost, because I still had to go to the Apple store to get it fixed. I went to a Hot Topic store, and I picked up a few items.
Ooh.
I got the greatest Sesame Street character ever, Super Grover Pop Vinyl.
Awesome.
I know. I saw, I've seen...
I'm Super Grover!
I've seen the other Sesame Street ones, and they always had, an advertisement for Super Grover. on the back, and I'm like, I want frickin' Super Grover. Why can't I have him? But they never had him, so they finally had him. I was like, hell yes. And then this I found to be quite intriguing. I haven't tried it yet. Maybe I'll do it here live on the show. But Deadpool cologne.
Ooh.
I know. But on the back it says Deadpool Eau de Toilette Spray. So I don't know if it smells like a toilet or what, but I am going to do a live recording of me smelling this.
Ooh, awesome.
So this should be interesting. And Steve's like, what the hell? We didn't talk about this.
No, I have surprise. I have a bunch of other extra surprises I got to show you as well. So
Does it involve a box?
It does involve the box.
Yes. Oh, before I get too far, I had something to add to the long box.
Nice.
Another thing. So I'm gonna show you, and everyone else doesn't get to know, but I got this at Hot Topic a while back. I don't really need it, but it's a little. I'll at least say this: it's a keychain.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I figured this would be
I
perfect.
don't, and I don't have it with me, but I will take a picture of it when I do get it. But I love that. But I do also have something to add to the long box as well.
Nice.
So I will send you the picture of the item. I almost gave it away there. But and then we'll start building some more stuff. Actually, that's what I'm kind of doing. I'm actually going to go through a bunch of stuff today and try to find some stuff that I want to throw in to the long box for people.
Okay, so here's the bottle. It's got the Deadpool logo on it. It's round.
Okay, first off, even if the cologne sucks or whatnot, that's still a cool bottle.
Okay. Ooh, actually, it smells pretty good.
Oh, don't you know how to do it?
Spray on my arm.
Yeah, spray it on your wrist and then smell it like
Second.
that.
I don't want to get my
No.
band thing.
It's all good.
Shit, that smells good.
Does it?
Yeah, that smells actually pretty good.
Nice.
I wish computers had like this smelly vision thing or whatever so I could show you, but unfortunately I may not be able to show you this until next time or when we finally get to meet.
Yes, when Kyle and I meet, we're gonna have to make a short film where Kyle met Steve.
Ooh. When Steve met Kyle?
Yeah.
So anyways, so that's that. Past weekend, went and saw Ant-Man.
Bing!
Oh.
Now, did you see it in 3D?
Hell to the no.
Okay, because everyone's been raving about this. Is actually the first movie that the 3D actually works.
Huh. I can see that. Unfortunately, limited budget and whatnot. But apparently, if you buy it and buy the IMAX 3D version at Regal Cinemas, they'll give you like special Ant-Man tickets.
Oh.
But it was only while limited supplies last, so I'm pretty sure they'll be out by now.
Yeah. So if I go see it again, I'm gonna try to go see it in 3D.
Okay. Saw that, and then Saturday went and saw the new Pixar movie Inside Out. That was pretty good.
I want to see that so bad.
That
has like nothing to do with comic books and stuff, and I'm just like, I want to see it so bad.
I will warn you now, that movie plays with your feelings.
What are you saying? Is the movie kind of emotional?
Yes. Yes, it is. I didn't cry. I didn't tear up. I got like a little misty eye thing going on. That's what happened to me.
It's all right. It happens.
Yeah. So, and then Sunday, the wife and I watched X-Men: Days of Future Past Rogue Cut.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was actually really good. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. But how was your weekend?
My weekend was pretty good. Just personal crap sucks, but just trying to rise above all of that kind of stuff that's going on in my actual physical life. But fantasy life, which is podcasting and everything that's wholesome and good, is good. Again, I saw Ant-Man as well, was able to go see that. As soon as you were like, I saw it, I was like, okay, I got to see it Sunday, or I got to see it Saturday. So I saw it Saturday night. Fully enjoyed it. Like I thought I was going to enjoy it, but not as much as I enjoyed it. Kind of thing. Like they did a really good job. And then of course today I got home and my Loot Crate came today for the month of July. And this one I'm sharing because the last two weren't really anything comic booky. I think last one was like a kind of like a robots take over. So there was like an Optimus Prime shirt, some Terminator stuff. Then they also had some I forget the one before that, but this one is all about, I guess last year when they did Heroes, stuff. They decided to do the sequel, so this was Heroes 2, as they called. So I didn't get the stuff last year because I had to cancel my subscription due to financial issues. So, opening the box, I did get some pretty cool stuff. So I'll show Kyle some of these things, and we'll talk about it real quick. So I got this cool Wonder Woman poster.
Nice.
So she can do it. I absolutely like that, so I got to find a place now to put that. Now, I thought this was only going to be a keychain / bottle opener, but then I read everything else that's on it. So it's a multi-tool.
Okay.
It's a bat-a-rang, and you have a keychain. I know it's really kind of hard to see.
Lighting's a little difficult, but okay.
But I will take pictures of all this stuff. But on one side of the bat wing, it's a flathead screwdriver.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's a crosshead screwdriver on the other one. So I'm like, oh, this is literally a multi-tool.
That's
okay.
Really cool.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Then they got these figures. And I was actually really surprised because usually when I get figures, I don't get the one that I want. I still get a cool figure, but usually you look on the back, you go, oh, I could have gotten that one kind of thing. This time I actually got the one that I wanted. So it's a little Batman from 1966.
Huh.
And, of course, I guess on the back they showed a Catwoman and Superman as well. So I got that little figure. And then let's open this box. I got this really cool book, which I think we're going to have to talk about. We might get some idea, but it's called The League of Regrettable Superheroes.
Nice.
So this was not only going to be a great coffee book table, coffee book table for my coffee table, obviously, but I am going to go through this and try to find some humdingers where we can look these up and talk about these things on the show. So I thought that was really kind of cool. Then I got this weird game for Steam, not too sure about it. Then I got a Spock car freshener.
Nice.
And then last but not least, you get the normal button, which is kind of cool. It's like a Batman kind of loot crate thing going on. Mm-hmm. And then you get the Legend of Zelda sweatband. So surprising this month, no t-shirt.
Huh.
But
I know Nerd Block always has a t-shirt, so I think Loot Crate doesn't always do a t-shirt, but Nerd Block always does.
Which is funny because I'm doing Arcade Block. And Nerd Block, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Nerd Block. I actually want to see if they have a deal going on, if I could do both subscriptions for not like the full two price of those things.
Right.
But next Nerd Block that I'm going to get is actually Sonic the Hedgehog theme with The Last of Us, and then you get 2 t-shirts with that one coming up next month. So I'm like, okay, so I'll try to keep everyone up to date with those. But those are good.
Now,
that comes in.
Let me ask you this. Have you seen the Marvel boxes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is actually really funny about that. I know somebody here that actually gets it.
Oh, cool.
Not like I know them physically, but I just know like when the mail truck is coming around, they're delivering it, and they actually have it, the box on the thing. And I saw it like twice. I'm like, it's something that I was like, I really want to get though.
Well, apparently Marvel only does it every other month.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because I was looking at it. The last one was June, and it was an Ant-Man themed one.
Okay.
And then the next one comes out in August, and it's Secret Wars themed. And apparently each one always at least has a pop vinyl.
Yeah, that's another thing I'm really... I will say this. With the Ant-Man movie that came out, I really want to get the pop vinyl of Ant-Man and Yellow Jacket.
Yeah, I definitely want to get that as well because it'll help my Avengers pop vinyl collection. So I'm only getting the Avenger-themed ones. Like, I have Vision, I have Hawkeye... I've got 4 Deadpools, but, that's a different story. I got Black Widow, and I got a Hulk, and I got a Captain America in my storage unit. So...
Yeah, it's funny, though, because, I've been trying to pick those ones out, too, the pop vinyl ones. I keep getting addicted to. But, yeah, that's something... now that you mention that, I'll have to see. Well, I'll have to do my finances first and see what I can do.
Well, I think it's like $25 and then $6 for shipping.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're probably getting a lot of cool stuff with that, though.
Oh, I'm sure, because it's Marvel, so you're going to get all...
Then it's going to have stuff. Yeah, and DC will do one. So on and so forth, and then you'll get, the weird comics, Image.
So I just posted a picture of the Deadpool clone on my Twitter.
Uh-huh.
Someone just tweeted me saying, "Does it smell like Deadpool?" I'm responding with, "No, it does not smell like it's a Mexican food."
Mexican food. You might want to finish the sentence.
Yeah.
They were like, he has something against Hispanics and their food. Well, screw
There we go.
him.
No, it does not smell like Mexican food. There we go.
There we go. But yeah, so that's been basically what.
Someone else just tweeted me asking me, does it smell like chimichangas?
Now I kind of want it to smell like that.
Sadly, no.
But anyway, so
okay.
What do you want to tackle first? We want to dive into this the meat and potatoes of this podcast. What we're going to talk about? Should we hit all the little mini? I've been trying to figure out like a little mini like I know Kevin Smith on his Batman does his utility belt kind of thing.
Well, I was just thinking we'll just go down a list. I think we'll just start off with the my review of X-Men: Days of Future Past, Road Cut,
Perfect.
if you want.
Yes, actually, I do want to hear about that. So, now I'll say this before you mention anything. Now, do you think they should have just kept the Road Cut in the movie? Or
They should have kept it.
Okay.
They should have kept it. I understand, budgeting wise, time wise, and whatnot, but the Road Cut was like an additional 19 minutes. Because on the back, they tell you, like, the theatrical version was this long, and then Road Cut's this long. So it's an extra 19 minutes. So you start the movie, you really don't notice anything different up until the point where they go and get Quicksilver.
Okay.
So they walk in, and then the little girl shows up, and they actually put the scene in. It's where she says, "I'm a princess. Who are you?" And Logan's like, "I'm the Wolverine." But it doesn't stop there. The mom then turns around, looks at the little girl, and says, "Honey, go play with your little sister." And then she says, "But Mommy, she doesn't like me." So I'm like, holy shit, they just they didn't name drop it, but they just basically mentioned Polaris.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah. And people forget that Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch have a sister who is Polaris, green hair, green suit, everything. And I think she might be Magneto's favorite child or something, I don't know. But just the little hint right there, without even saying anything, I'm just like, Polaris. Even my wife, who is a huge X-Men fan, looks over me and goes, "Did they just..." I'm like, yeah, they did. So I thought that was kind of cool. You really don't notice much anything else until the big rogue part. And that's when, after Kitty's been slashed by Wolverine, because he was just waving about with his claws, really should have restrained him. I don't know why they didn't restrain him beforehand. I mean, all Magneto had to do was just be like, "Stay." But no. Yeah. So she's losing a lot of blood. Bobby goes up to Professor and Magneto's like, "Look, she's losing a lot of blood. There's got to be something we can do." They're like, "No, there's no one else that can take Kitty's place." He's like, "Well, what about Rogue?" And then Charles Xavier's like, "Well, unfortunately, she's got to be dead because I have not been able to sense her at all." And Bobby's like, "Well, we know where she is. It's just she's in the one place you would never be able to reach. She's inside Cerebro." And Magneto's like, "Why haven't you gone to rescue her?" And he's like, "Well, it's very fortified, heavy security. There's no way we'd be able to rescue her without killing ourselves." So Charles is like, "Well, I might know a few ways to get into that place without that they may not even know about." So Bobby, Magneto, and Charles Xavier go off to the X Mansion. Charles stays inside the plane. Magneto and Bobby go into the mansion. They rescue Rogue. And on their way back, they get attacked by Sentinels. So Bobby holds them off, and Magneto takes Rogue, and they get into the plane. Bobby dies.
Okay.
They kill him off, and then they fly off. Well, one of the Sentinels jumps onto the plane and is trying to attack him. So Charles Xavier just, hits, the gas pedal, I guess. Just basically floors it, and the plane goes faster. And you just see, the Sentinel just, go up the windshield type thing, and then just, fly back. But he grabs onto the back of the plane, and then they do this thing where, I guess I would say stealth mode, because, the plane collapses in on itself just a little bit to go faster. Well, it collapses in on the Sentinel's hand, and it basically just rips off. And they get back to the place. Rogue takes Kitty's place and just kind of, knocks her out by touching her. And then she starts doing the whole thing with Wolverine. And Wolverine wakes up, and he's like, "Rogue?" And he gets the idea that Rogue's now taking over. Another thing that they added was after the airport scene where young Charles Xavier is trying to talk to Mystique.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing the whole thing. Afterwards, the next day, Mystique shows up at the X Mansion that night, and basically she starts putting the moves on Beast.
Ooh.
And they're making out a little bit, and she's like, I want you to be in your full primal instinct. I want this to be, natural, basically. So he goes beast mode. She turns into her blue thing, and they don't actually end up doing anything. She ends up stopping him and walks away, and then she actually basically breaks Cerebro inside the X Mansion so that Charles Xavier can't find her. So then next morning, Wolverine, Charles are like, what the hell's going on? And Beast shows up. He's like, look, I'm sorry. She tricked me. Mystique was here last night, so I'm sorry. And then it continues on with the normal movie where they find out where she would be anyways.
Okay.
Not much else changed. Trying to think here. Oh, when at the very end of the future fight where Magneto stops everything and everyone's basically starting to die now.
Yeah.
He puts a wall of metal up against the door, and we all assumed that he just died right there because they never actually show his death. But they show Kitty phasing through the door, grabbing Magneto, and dragging him back into the building where him and Charles actually have like their final goodbyes, basically.
Oh, okay.
So it was kind of nice to see that they had like their final goodbyes and whatnot. And then everything else was the same besides the fact that you just see Rogue doing the mind thing to Wolverine.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I liked it. It was different.
So that's kind of cool, though. You kind of get a completely different cut of the movie then.
Yeah. It honestly, I think it actually made the movie better. In my own opinion.
No, that sounds pretty legit there.
Oh, and they actually added an extra scene to the in the middle of the credits. There's a scene of Peter Dinklage's character. What the hell was his name?
Oh crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about though. Yeah.
Yeah, Peter Dinklage, his character. They show him in the same cell that Magneto was in the beginning, and you just see like a little tray come down, slide right up against him, and then he kind of just like looks up and you see he's got like this huge ass beard and whatnot, and that was it.
Huh.
So I thought that was kind of cool how they did all that.
Yeah. Very cool. So would you highly recommend the Rogue cut for people?
Yes, I would. If you have not picked up Days of Future Past yet, I recommend getting this because it also comes with a theatrical version. So if you want to see just the normal version, there you go. If you just want to see, the new version, I highly recommend it.
Very cool. Very cool.
So, let's see here. What else do you want to talk about?
Let's see. We got. You want to dive into the Power Rangers?
Yeah, sure. All right. So, for everyone knows, I'm a huge Power Ranger fan.
What?
I know, but there was Power Ranger comic books for a while, back in the old day, and then they came back past few years, and they were done by Shout Factory. No, not Shout Factory. That's their DVD people. Who the hell did? Yeah, fuck it. I don't remember. It shows how great of a fan I am. Well, anyways, they just announced that Boom Studios, I'm sure you've heard of them.
Yes.
They got the rights to Power Ranger comics because the people who had it before kind of just like dropped the ball line and didn't care for it anymore. So San Diego Comic-Con comes out, and Boom Studios has 6 individual comics, each with the main Rangers, red, blue, yellow, pink, black, and green. You just see them holding their helmet, and in like the reflection of the visor, you see their Zords.
Yes.
The artwork is amazing. Are you looking at these, or are you?
Yeah,
just...
I'm looking at the page right now. I think
Okay.
it's really cool.
Yeah, artwork's amazing. I'm kind of hoping they do this with all the covers, at least this art style.
Yeah.
It's different. I love it. So, apparently, though, you had to get them. They were like $5 each, and they were in blind bags, so you never knew which ones you were getting. And the Green Ranger was apparently like a 1 in 20 chance of getting, or something like that.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a story going on with the whole thing. Basically, Goldar's fighting the Green Ranger. Red Ranger shows up to help. Then all the other Rangers come to help, and then Goldar grows. They get in their Zords. They're fighting him. And, the Rangers win to save the day. But the artwork is just... I just can't get over it. It's amazing. I love it. I can't wait for the first issue to come out from Boom Studios. That's going to be something I will definitely be getting.
Yeah, it's really freaking it's really kind of, it's like, it's kind of weird. Like, I'm looking at it and it looks really like simple artwork.
You know what it reminds me of a little bit?
What?
Alex Ross.
Yes.
Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of Alex Ross artwork. Now, I'm not saying he did it. I'm just saying, like, the painted style and everything.
Yeah.
It reminds me a lot of his work.
Very cool. Yeah, no, it looks really kind of cool. And actually, honestly, like those little individual covers that they did, I kind of want to see those as posters now.
Yeah, they're basically like, they kind of are posters because one side is the Ranger and then the other side is the one-page comic, and then that's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if you want to finish the whole story, you actually have to get all 6 issues.
Ah.
Yeah. I knew someone who was at San Diego Comic-Con, and they picked me up 3. I got red, pink, and black.
Nice.
Yeah, so I might get those framed and then just hang them up on the wall or something like that when we get our own place. Be a nice little thing. And
Yeah, it would be actually kind of cool.
Yeah, and I just gotta get the other 3, and that'd be perfect.
So every time you walk into the room with those in there, it has to be like, go, go, Power Rangers! Boo, 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 go, go, Power Rangers! And you're like, what kind of recording is that? So yeah, Steve just sent me this CD, and every time people walk into the room, I have to play it.
What the hell's a CD?
MP3 player.
The hell's an MP3 player?
P4.
Dude, I just listen to music on my phone. Believe it or not, I don't have that on my phone.
What? Well, that's freaking awesome. I like it. I think it's really kind of cool. I like how they're doing like the original Rangers too.
Yeah. I kind of wish they would have done something, I'm hoping like after like a while they'll do the first few Rangers and then they'll do the newer seasons and whatnot.
They probably will. I mean, first off, you're probably going to get a bunch of the hardcore, like old school fans that are going to jump into this, going like, "Yeah, this is awesome," and then you're going to like be like, "Oh, here's the rest of the." I mean, they got so much to pull from, so I don't think they're going to.
Yeah, I mean, they got over 20 seasons to deal with, but the thing is, like, a lot of us hardcore older fans, we want to see some of the other seasons because, like, yes, a lot of people love the original season because that's what everyone grew up with. But me, that's not my favorite season.
What's your favorite season?
It's Lightspeed Rescue.
Okay. I was about to say, if you said Turbo, I might have to not be friends.
Oh, hell no. Everyone knows that season sucks.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that season sucked. So anyways.
I guess we'll get into it. Yeah, Batman Forever, the elusive bat nipples when they came in.
Yeah, and it was my bad. The article actually says Batman Forever. It was me typing, not giving a shit about Batman.
Oh, it's so hurtful.
It's Batman, I don't care. Oh, and speaking of Batman, we will not be revealing any more spoilers for the Batman video game. Sorry.
Oh, why?
So, a fan of ours had tweeted a thing saying, dodging Batman Arkham spoilers, and they showed like a little gif of a guy on a double-decker bus, and the tree's coming right for his face and like basically hits him in the head.
Oh, okay.
So we may have spoiled a few things. I mean,
well, okay. I
will-
understand that, but we did say spoilers.
Yeah, well, I will say this. I was just joking. Alfred is not really the Arkham Knight.
Yeah, it's Wonder Woman. Oh shit!
Fuck.
I am
Wait.
not very good at this.
It's okay. So, anyways, back to Batman nipples.
Yes, so Val Kilmer in Batman Forever, he was the first. Now, the joke I made was the reason why the bat nipples were there was because for Batman and Robin, because he was fighting Mr. Freeze and bing! But, of course, these were actually made in the Val Kilmer, which is so funny when I had to tell people that, yeah, Val Kilmer was Batman once, and everyone's like, no, he wasn't. I'm like, don't talk to me. Anyway, so, was it like Bob Kane walking around talking about, where's my nipples?
Yeah, well, no, basically what happened was this was an interview piece to promote the film before the release, back in 1995.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Carrey, who was playing the Riddler in the movie, recalled that it pissed off Bob Kane, the late Bob Kane, of course, being the creator of Batman. He was walking around going, I never put nipples on a batsuit. Whoever heard of nipples on the batsuit? So they knew that there was something going on back then.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, the decision was made by director Joel Schumacher's. It says here in this, he said that Bob Kane doesn't understand why Chris O'Donnell has an earring and Batman has nipples. And he said that it was the 90s Bob pumped up. So basically, here we go. He said, added that I wanted a very sexy, very sensual, very body-hugging suit. It's my Gotham City, and if I want Batman to have nipples, he's going to have nipples.
Jeez.
So there you go. That's why Batman had nipples. Apparently, it's supposed to be a Batman porno.
Probably. I'm Batman, and here's my batarang. Where's your pants, Batman? Bam, chicka, chicka, wow, chicka,
In my
chicka,
utility belt.
chicka, wow, wow, chicka, chicka, wow, chicka, chicka. Alfred, could you knock it off? Yes, sir.
So-
Excellent.
I saw the article, and I was like, you know what? I got to share this. So many people have been arguing over this thing for quite some time. I think it's time we put it to rest.
But speaking of the reincarnation of Batman, the Arrow has a couple of new things added to the list.
Yes. First off,
Yeah, which one do you want to dive into? This one?
yeah, we'll go to that one first. Basically, they want Constantine to be on Arrow.
Now, do they just want the character Constantine, or do they want the guy who played?
I think they want the guy who played Constantine to come on and play Constantine.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't see why not. DC pretty much owns the characters.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, just because NBC was taking care of the show, I mean, they dropped the ball on that. I mean, I never watched the show. I watched the first episode, never watched anything else past it. I kind of wish I'd watched more. I maybe will eventually. But as of right now, I mean, if they put Constantine on Arrow, CW could be like, hey, you know what? Fans really like this. Let's pick this up, because Constantine is more of a CW style than anything else. I mean, it looks just like Supernatural.
Supernatural. And you could literally market it that way, where you have the Supernatural and then right afterwards Constantine, or Constantine and then Supernatural. Like, you put those on the same night. Like, that's like a no-brainer. Like,
Exactly.
Which I know everyone really wants to know our expertise on, having to run a network. But
Yeah. So I thought that was kind of cool. That they said they want to get him on there. So, and the other thing was that they have Mr. Terrific is coming to Arrow.
yes,
Now-
I saw that.
Let me ask you: do you know who Mr. Terrific is?
Yeah, he's terrific. No, actually, honestly, I have no idea who the character is. So,
All right. Basically, he's an African American superhero. He's got a T on his face. One of his superpowers is that technology cannot see him.
ah,
I remember that from the Crisis on Infinite Earths. Basically, him and a few other characters had to go onto like the satellite to shut down the OMAC project, and he was one of them. And he basically just like walked right on. They're like, "Aren't you worried about anything?" He's like, "No, one of my powers is that technology cannot see me." He's got like these floating orbs circling around him, so that's kind of cool. I guess they're called the T orbs.
okay.
Yeah. So
So, what will his role be in with Arrow then? Is he just going to show
actually
me
it says here, Let's see here. It says, in Arrow, EW describes Holt as an inventor who works for Palmer Technologies under Felicity Smoke.
Ah.
It was also revealed at San Diego Comic-Con that this version of Mr. Terrific will be gay.
Okay.
So I fully support that. I think that's kind of cool if they're taking a spin on things. See here. It says here the guy who's playing him is Echo Kellum. I
guess he was on a show called Ben and Kate.
At
one point, never heard of that.
Nope. So let's see here. A new season of Arrows debuts October 7th, and Kellum is scheduled to debut in the subsequent episodes. So he'll probably be in the very first episode of the season, so that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they never actually... Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think this will actually be his first on-TV screen appearance, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that is kind of cool, because I think the only thing they've ever done with him really is, I think he might have been in the Justice League cartoon show, maybe?
Yes, he was in there back in Justice League Unlimited. When Martian Manhunter took a leave of absence, he took over for Martian Manhunter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because he's super smart and whatnot.
Very cool.
And speaking of new castings, this one I found to be really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Atom Smasher is coming to Flash, but that's not the interesting part. The interesting part is the actor who's going to be portraying him.
Yeah, I'm reading the article now. Now, have you been following wrestling?
I have not. Last thing I really remember was Edge being a huge douchebag. And just so everyone knows, Edge, the wrestler, will be playing Atom Smasher.
Ah. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, that's an interesting casting. I wonder if they're actually going to have him have his mask, or if he's actually going to be the Atom Smasher, or if it's just going to be like the character, and then he's going to become the Atom Smasher later on, or what's going to happen. But I'm going to say this right now. If they do get him to become Atom Smasher, a fight between him and Firestorm would be awesome.
That would be pretty cool.
Oh, here we go. He will appear in the season premiere, currently filming, and contrary to what the name might suggest, he's not on the good guy side.
Ooh.
So they're actually going to make him a villain, which actually kind of makes sense because, like I said before, Edge is a douche.
Oh, man.
Let's see here. It says, CW describes his character as one of the most powerful enemies we encountered this season. Atom Smasher has come to Central City to kill the Flash. His incredible strength and ability to grow to enormous size makes him more than a match for Flash and the entire Star Labs team. We'll have to come together to find a way to defeat him. In the comics, Atom Smasher is a hero. Grandson to the villain Cyclotron. He is godson to Al Pratt, the Golden Age hero known as the Atom before Ray Palmer took the name, and prior to becoming Atom Smasher. So, yeah. I think that's a great way to start the first episode.
Yeah, I'll say. But I will say this, too. So, another picture was leaked. I know this isn't on the... it is on the thing. That's the next one lined up. Is the Flash debuts a new costume. Never mind. I gotta learn to read the show notes. Honestly, I only see one difference.
Is it the white?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really the only difference. I think, now, obviously there's a glare in the image, so I'm thinking maybe the suit might be a little bit more red popping, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But the circle, it now has a white circle with the lightning bolt, so I think it looks kind of cool. It
looks great. Like, I love it. I mean, I like the costume in the beginning, too, and stuff like that. I mean, I thought the red was a little off, but other than that, it was just like, well, it's his first, season. Let him do what they need to do. But then the, debuts the new costume. Like, oh, they're going to have, maybe some of the lightning bolts on it now or something. It was just like, here's this white symbol. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Now, I'm reading the article. It says, while it's not reinventing the wheel of the costume from the inaugural season, the new costume has several key differences, notably the presence of a white circle around Flash's lightning bolt emblem. I love how they say several key differences, and that's the only one that they mention.
And we can't talk about the other ones or something.
I don't know. So he still got his lightning bolts ear things. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I mean,
well, I'll put it this way: they keep changing the Arrow suit every season, so.
seen the new Arrow suit though?
Yeah, the new one looks great though. That's what I'm saying. But I'm just saying, like every season it seemed like the Arrow has a new suit. He has a new suit. Here's another suit. Now that finally he's like, I think I'm gonna stick with this one. No, in season 5 you get another suit. You're gonna be the Blue Arrow. Wait, what? Yeah, we're just doing everything with the suit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. See pictures released for X-Men Apocalypse.
Yes. That was at Entertainment Weekly, right?
Yep. Now, have you seen the joke that Apocalypse looks like Ivan Ooze from the Power Rangers movie?
Yes.
Now, if you look at the pictures, the very first one, it's the cover of Entertainment Weekly. He's not actually purple. He's actually blue.
Oh, I'm colorblind, so I always thought he was purple.
Well, in the image, he looks purple, but I think it's just because of just the lighting. Not to mention, you're looking at Psylocke and Storm, who both seem to be wearing some kind of purple, so mix that with him and he looks purple. But on the cover, he's definitely blue. But what's also really cool is on the cover is also Magneto, and his costume definitely finally has more red in it.
Yes.
So he definitely looks more like the Magneto we see in the comics.
Yes, that is true. And
Psylocke's costume looks dead on perfect.
Okay, now, I don't know what everyone's fucking problem was. Sorry, Kyle's mom. I just dropped the F-bomb. And we were doing so good. Yeah, so everyone was jumping down. Like, everyone was getting so pissed off with her being Psylocke, Olivia Munn. And
what else has she been in?
Okay, Olivia Munn, first off, she was on Attack of the Show.
Never watched that.
Long time ago. She's a huge nerd and everything like that. And then she was also in a show called Newsroom.
Yeah, no.
But so she knows the material. She's a geek girl and everything like that. So I don't know why people are.
I saw her on Conan O'Brien when he was at San Diego Comic-Con. He had the whole X-Men cast on, and he was talking to her, and she was like, they showed a picture of the comic book version of Psylocke, and he's like, now, how close is your costume to that? She said, my costume is dead on. The only difference is I don't have these, and points to her boobs. Because in the image, her boobs were like 10 times the size of her head. But so I'm looking at this again, like you even see in like the cover issue of Entertainment Weekly, she's got the little energy dagger thing coming out of her fist, and it looks perfect. One of the closest adaptations to a comic book costume probably in the X-Men universe ever. So
yeah, like they're really getting the costumes down. Like, I mean, granted, it took them this long to finally do like an actual thing. But now the other question I have now with Apocalypse, now do you think this is going to be his entire form throughout the movie, or do you think he's going to become that huge?
Well, we saw him at the end of Days of Future Past as like a young boy, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw like some type of incarnation of his comic book version somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, because I think it's like right now he's kind of like a pharaoh, like.
Now, I was looking at some other pictures, and again, I love the fact they gave Storm her mohawk in this.
Yes.
I was like, Halle Berry, I don't think can pull this off, but this chick here can.
Yeah, this is going to be really interesting to see. And again, this comes out like in May. It's like right in the beginning of May, we get Civil War.
Yep.
And then we get this at the end of May, so we're just like, man, it's going to be a great year for freaking comic book movies.
So, next picture, they got Quicksilver looking at Mystique.
Yes.
And I love the fact they're bringing back Quicksilver. I think it's awesome.
Me too.
And I was just reading an article the other day saying that basically he's going to have a more fun and elaborate scene than he did in Days of Future Past.
Holy crap, that's going to be nuts.
I know, so I can't wait for that.
Yeah, because Days of Future Past was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. See, next image has something with Magneto in some flannel shirt. I don't know what's going on there. The next one has Mystique, Charles, Beast, and Havoc in the Cerebro room. And Girl in the background, I don't know. But I do know, I was reading that they are bringing back, what was her name? McTaggart from the first movie.
Yes.
She was the love interest of Charles, and then at the very end of the movie, he basically mind-wiped her, so this way she couldn't remember anything.
Yes.
So that was why she wasn't in Days of Future Past, for those who couldn't remember, like me, who had to Wikipedia her in the middle of the night because he couldn't figure out why the hell she wasn't there. Things I do when I'm bored and I can't sleep.
Oh, I thought it was just like, is that just keeping you up all night? Be like, I need to know this!
Well, when I can't sleep, my mind goes like a million different places, and I have to know the answers so I can finally go to sleep.
That's true. Yeah, no, that happens to me when I'm trying to remember something. If I don't look it up right away or whatnot, I'll wake up in the middle of the night and just scream out the name.
Yeah, and the final image is of Storm, Apocalypse, and Psylocke, the main one where it looks like Ivan Ooze.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know. I'm looking forward to the movie and stuff. That I just think it's so weird, like, I guess just because you have the internet, you can voice your opinion, which is fine, but I just love how so many fanboys are just, like, angry about, like, some stupid stuff. I'm like, okay, I'll put it this way. When we got our first X-Men movie, like, I was stoked, okay? Like, I'm like, oh my god, they're actually treating this like a comic book. They're not, like, trying to Batman and Robin it up or some crap like that, you know?
Yeah.
They're actually taking it almost kind of seriously, like, and that's the thing. It's like a lot of comic books are pretty serious. Like, don't get me wrong, it's all fantasy and stuff like that, but they are pretty good with their stories. So I'm kind of happy that, like, they were able to finally get their footing with that, and we're finally getting these movies. That's why I'm like, I don't, like, now I'm in this stage where I'm just like, look, we're getting a fucking movie. I'm like, okay, everyone wants to keep on bitching and complaining about Batman v Superman and stuff like that. I'm like, first off, this is the first time we're getting both these people on the big screen. Second of all, they're going to fight each other. I don't care if you guys are like, why are they fighting? It's like, they fight all the fucking time in the comics.
It's true. They do. Any crossover, the very first issue at least, they're always fighting.
And what I love is, like, okay, so they're bitching and complaining about Batman and Superman fighting. Okay, a month later from that movie, Captain America and Iron Man are going to be fighting. So what are you bitching about? Get off your high horse, Americans.
Yeah. A second. I'm looking something up real quick because I'm curious about how many superhero movies are coming out next year.
Well, off the top of my head, I know Deadpool, Batman v Superman, we got X-Men Days of Future Past, and Civil War.
Okay, here we go. See here, 2015. That's this year. Sorry, 2016. Deadpool, Batman v Superman, Captain America, Apocalypse, Suicide Squad.
That's right.
Doctor Strange.
Oh shit, that's coming out next year?
Yeah, it says here November 4th.
Crap. Okay.
Wait, is this what the new Spider-Man lineup, or is this the old one? I think this might be the old one because yeah, this is the old one because it still says Amazing Spider-Man 3. See if I can find one here that's more up to date. Yeah, they're still saying Doctor Strange. Let me just make sure here. And then they're also saying Sinister Six, but I don't know what's going on there anymore, so...
Yeah.
Strange. Alright, so based off of all the trailers that we've seen for the movies and whatnot and everything we've seen besides Doctor Strange, so Civil War, Deadpool, Apocalypse, Batman vs. Superman, and Suicide Squad, which one are you most looking forward to?
Well, honestly, I'm looking forward to all of them, but of course, the one I'm most excited for, we get right out of the gates right in the beginning of the year, is Deadpool. I'm like, this is the first time we get to see, and probably the second one after that, I would have to say Suicide Squad, because again, we're finally getting to see a bunch of characters we have not seen before on the big screen, so it's going to be kind of interesting, I think.
Yeah, I think, obviously for me, Deadpool, followed by probably Civil War.
Yeah, so that's another one. Like, it's like another toss-up there, because it's like, this is like another big movie with a shit ton of superheroes in it. So, but we'll see what happens. But I guess we'll talk about the final little story we have. It's nothing too big, and then Kyle and I will dive into the meat and potatoes of this podcast.
Yeah.
Of a little movie that seemed to be in a big proportions. Ah! Sorry.
Not laughing at all.
Kind of thought it was hilarious. He had a smirk on his face.
No,
So anyway,
I
so
did not.
this is the girl from Trainwreck.
Yeah, Amy Schumer.
Amy
I
Schumer.
think she's got her own... Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I was just about to say, like, I've never heard of this woman ever before in my life.
She's got her own show on Comedy Central.
That's what I've heard. So, like, I'm not saying like I totally brushed it off. Like, I literally had no idea who this person was. So, I'm one of those people where I'm like, oh, what's going on? So, yeah. Actually, Matthew did see Matthew from the Fro Show and Socially Awkward. He actually saw Trainwreck before he came out. Like, he got a sneak peek thing.
Nice.
Said it was really funny. It was really raunchy and really funny. So he said he was like, it's a good flick. So, so apparently Lucas is pissed off about all this.
Disney and Lucasfilm are pissed off for her GQ magazine shoot. So it's not like she just did these photos for fun. She did this for like an actual magazine, GQ.
Yeah.
For those who don't know what we're talking about, basically she took like a bunch of photos that are Star Wars themed, and they're quite, I guess you could say, raunchy. Is I guess a word. I mean, that's the word that they're using. They're pissed off. They're like, we did not condone this. We did not sanction these. She did not ask for our permission or whatever, so we have nothing to do with these. First picture off the bat is her laying in bed topless with C-3PO and R2-D2. Basically, they just had a threesome. I don't know why C-3PO's got like a freaking blowtorch in his hand.
Because I have to solder my penis back on. Oh, dear.
Wow. The cover's got her in a Slave Leia outfit sucking on C-3PO's finger.
Mm-hmm. The next one is she's doing like the rockets with a stormtrooper.
Yeah, nothing wrong there, really.
Yeah, no, I think she's just having fun with it.
Yeah, I mean, the next one, her, Chewie, C-3PO, and R2-D2, they're in a gay bar. And she's just dancing up.
Chewie seems to be the bear in that picture.
She's dancing on the table, having fun in a Leia outfit from the first movie. And then the last one's got her sucking on a lightsaber, which really, I feel like that would just go right to the cheek.
Yeah, and then I guess it even says down here that Schumer didn't mean to disrespect Lucasfilms with these photos. Just supposed to be funny, weird, and provocative, like Schumer's and her comedy, basically. And the fact she chose these characters of the Testament of the Cruel Significant is kind of a compliment. But Star Wars is owned by Disney and Disney family companies, and they obviously wouldn't be cool with anyone, even the biggest comedian in the world, filleting a lightsaber at least in public.
Now, here's the problem I have with that. Disney just bought one of the most sexualized things ever, and that's Slave Leia.
Yeah.
So they really can't be too mad about this because Slave Leia is already one of the most sexualized looking icon. Yeah. So the fact that they're pissed off that she basically just made it sexier, I guess.
You know what? I don't even. To me, if anything happened, I would not have said anything. I would have just been like, kind of like what Lucasfilms before it was bought by Disney did with Seth MacFarlane and the Star Wars stuff. Like they actually asked them, they're like, "Hey, you guys gonna do this?" And they're like, "Oh, we can." Like, because they made so many Star Wars jokes during Family Guy and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And then Lucas actually enjoyed it. I mean, these people do have sense of humor. If I were you guys, I would have just totally spun it and be like, "This is hilarious. This is gonna get us more press." You know, let's talk to Amy Schumer and see if she can do anything else. You know, this just basically brings in more of an audience. That's how I would spin it instead of trying to be this corporate like, "Oh, I don't find this hilarious. Oh, this is disrespectful."
Now, I can understand somewhat of a fact Disney, you know, they want to be a family-friendly thing and they don't want this to be connected to them. All they really had to say, instead of saying that they did not approve, participate in, or condone the inappropriate use of the characters in this manner, all they had to say was Lucasfilm and Disney did not participate in this, so if you're going to complain to us about this, we had nothing to do with this. That's all they have to say. They don't have to say that they're pissed off.
Also, I'll put it this way. If you're gearing these movies to kids, what kids are picking up GQ magazine?
Is a very good point.
And also, who's picking up magazines in general? We have phones.
That's another good point.
Yeah.
And the internet. Hence the reason why the photos are now on the internet.
That's what I figure. I don't know. But you know what? I think people just want to find stuff to complain about.
Agreed. All right, so we got all the news out of the way. I do believe it is time.
Dun 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 dun. Kyle and Steve do movie review.
Now, if you have not seen Ant-Man the movie, I'm going to say this now. You can now stop listening.
Yes, I'm pretty sure after we're done talking about Ant-Man the movie, we will be ending the show. So if you have not seen the Ant-Man movie, right now, spoilers, 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 spoilers.
Yes.
I think I got my... Oh, hold on. Hashtag spoilers. Hashtag lots and lots of spoilers. Hashtag don't come down on me. Don't come down on here. Don't come on my land and tell me you did not tell me about no spoilers.
Hashtag shut up, Steve.
Heck, feelings hurt.
I'm sorry. It was funny in my head. You okay?
All right, so... Yeah, I'm fine. I'll live. So Ant-Man, right off the bat, wow.
Yeah.
This is a character that I've greatly was like, Ant-Man, why are we doing an Ant-Man movie? Who cares about Ant-Man? Like, I really had no desire to see an Ant-Man movie.
Yeah, I remember early episodes of the podcast, you were always just like, I don't know why we're doing this. I don't care about this movie. You were just constantly saying you wanted it to be a Netflix series and whatnot. And by the way, I still think it would make a great Netflix series, but yeah.
Then my attitude changed when they were going, oh, we're not doing the Hank Pym story.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing the Scott. And I go, wait, I'm on board now. Because honestly, to me, Hank Pym is kind of a jackass.
Well, he beat his wife.
Spoilers, not in this movie, though, because it's Disney.
No, this is comic book spoilers that came out in, the 70s, 80s?
I know, but knowing people, they'll be like, hey, wait a minute, and then they'll hit us back, I just saw Ant-Man, and there was no wife beating whatsoever. You guys are liars.
Technically, it wasn't wife beating or anything like that. He hit her once, and then that was it. There was no more hitting. But, yeah. So,
anyways, I was on board after a couple of the trailers where I'm like, you know what, this looks like basically what it gave me the feeling of Guardians of the Galaxy. Where I'm like, this is just going to be a fun movie.
Mm-hmm. And it was. It really was.
And it really was. So I will say this. Okay, right off the bat, when it opens, when it has was it 1989?
Yeah. Yeah, 1989. Isn't that the same year Star-Lord disappeared?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't even put that. Oh, Kyle, look at you.
Let me make sure that's the right year, though.
You get a gold star. It was either 1989 or 1987 because I know. Yeah,
it was sometime in the 1980s. That much I remember. See here.
But I do have to. Yeah, what I do have to say though is it shows you that, so it shows a younger version of Hank Pym. Great CGI on Michael Douglas right then and there.
Oh yeah.
He came walking up and what?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, and he comes walking up, and I'm just all like, "Holy crap! Wow, it's Michael Douglas!" Like he was in the what was it, the Wall Street Money Talks or something?
It was 1988.
Okay, 1988. So a year before this goes down. So I also like how they brought back the guy from Iron Man 2 to play Tony Stark's dad again.
Yep, and they brought back what the hell, Agent Carter.
Yes, Agent Carter as well. So. It's a great intro. I love that too, and a great joke with that, with the guy gives him shit or whatnot, and you just see Hank Pym grab him, slam his head down on the thing. He goes what the hell? And he's all like, look, he just did that to you without the suit. You really want to go more rounds when he's full size?
He also was just you dissed his wife, so you kind of deserve that.
Yeah, kind of thing. So. Hands down, right off the bat with that. I liked Michael Douglas. I think he did a really good job with the character. Let's see what else I'm trying to think. And then it comes to our year, and you get to see Scott in the crap beat out of him in prison. So,
but apparently that was just a ritual thing to when you leave prison.
Yeah. But I just right off the bat, right when it happens, you see him get beat up and stuff, and then he kind of leaves. You're just already I was like, I like this guy. I like this guy already. Yeah, I don't know anything about this character. Let's go, kind of fun stuff. And then his friend was really funny.
Mm-hmm.
What was it, Louise? I think.
Yeah, fuck if I know. He's not a superhero, so I don't care.
Okay. But what did you think about the movie? Like, what were your favorite kind of parts? And you probably saw more Easter eggs than I did. So,
All right. Well, I'll start off with the Easter eggs. Start things off with. First one I noticed was when Hank Pym goes to Pym Industries and the guy's giving a lecture about Pym's legacy, and he basically says, shit, I have to edit this now because I don't remember what the fuck it was, and it's going to take me a second to look it up.
I don't think he said that, but...
No.
Well, anyway, so Kyle is looking for all this information.
Again, I'm editing.
No, I know. You know what? It happens all the time to me or whatnot. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, you had Pym Industry, which I thought was a cool, like, you know, because it's like you have Stark Industry, you have Pym Industry, you have, well, Shield's obsolete. Okay.
So, first Easter egg I noticed was when Cross was given a speech about Pym's rumored shrinking technology, saying it was propaganda, Tales to Astonish. Right there. Ant-Man's first appearance was in Tales to Astonish.
I totally forgot about that.
So I thought that was kind of a cool little Easter egg. Let's see here. What else did we have? See here. Obviously, Howard Stark is played by the same guy from Iron Man 2, which I thought was great that they did that because obviously that's an older Stark than the one that we're seeing in Captain America or Agent Carter.
Yes.
The third guy in the meeting that he basically punched was Mitchell Carson, who actually ends up becoming a villain. See here. Ant-Man comics specifically, Carson was an agent who was meant to take over the Ant-Man suit for S.H.I.E.L.D. The suit was actually wound up in the hands of the third Ant-Man, Eric O'Grady. This comic version of Carson is pretty different from the movie version, though they share at least one trait. They're both jerks. One of the things I noticed, though, was, and this is just like cutting way into the movie, and near the end when Cross is showing them basically the shrinking formula and everything, Carson steals a bit of the Pym particles, and that's it. That's all we see of him.
Yes.
So they don't mention that again, so I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back later on as another villain.
It would be really interesting to see with that. But also, like the fact, what I will say about this, it's I didn't really feel this as a superhero movie.
Mm-hmm.
I felt it more as a heist movie.
Yeah, just with a really cool suit.
Yeah, like it really kind of threw me. Like I was like it had superhero aspects to it and all that kind of stuff. But like overall, like when I was seeing the first trailers, I'm like, wow, this is really like Iron Man. You know, it's like I made a suit. I'm building a suit. I want your technology. It's my technology. Like this whole kind of thing. But it really like right when it gets started, you're kind of like, oh wow, this is like really nothing to do with like being a superhero. It was more like I need to teach you how to use the suit, and then I need you to break in and steal this stuff and destroy it and everything, that kind of thing. So it was kind of cool to see like more of like a heist kind of aspect with superheroes. But
there was at least one superhero in the movie.
Yes, there was.
Falcon.
Now that I thought was funny. They were going down there like, this isn't a Stark building anymore. And then they pull up the picture and you notice it's the Avengers, the new facility.
Yep. New Avengers headquarters, which I thought was great because if you remember, we didn't get to see Falcon in his new costume for more than like 2 seconds at the very end of Age of Ultron.
Yes.
So the fact they brought him in for this and you finally get to see his new costume, and which was great. I thought the whole scene was funny. Now I saw a trailer right before this, and the trailer was of Falcon. He lands on the roof. He's like, "Who are you?" He goes, "Hey, I'm Ant-Man." He kind of looks at him funny. He goes, "Well, Iron Man was taken." They had cut that out of the movie, but even still, it was funny.
Yeah, well, I even like that. He's like, "I'm Ant-Man." Wasn't my name. Wasn't my. I didn't pick the name.
Well, that was the thing. They really didn't. He really didn't make fun of his name that often, as much as they showed in the trailers.
Yeah.
There was supposed to be a part where he's like, "I want you to be the Ant-Man," and he'd be like, "Okay, but can we change the name?" They completely cut that out of the movie, so I was kind of surprised by that.
Also, I like that they really edited the thing. He's all like, "Look, I'm done breaking into places and stealing shit." He's like, what do you need me to do? I need you to break into a place and steal some shit. But then the actual like TV trailer was stuff, so it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did like that. I thought it was great where like they're doing some like the fight. I thought the fighting was really kind of cool what they did with the technology and stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely. Now, Hank Pym's keychain of the tank.
Yes.
Did you know that was a real tank?
You know what? That's the thing. Like right when it showed it, like they really focused on it, like in the very beginning, like with something like he put his keys. No, when he put his keys in like the tray or whatnot. And I was thinking about it. I was all like, okay, there's going to be something with that tank. Like I don't know what it is yet, but there's going to be something.
When Scott had first grabbed them, I'm like, I have a feeling that's an actual tank. And then when you see him again going into the building, and they focus in on that tank, I'm like, that there is an actual tank. I lean over to my wife. I'm like, $10 says that's an actual tank. She goes, yeah, you're probably right. So when he's like, here's our way out, and I'm like, son of a bitch. But then when it's like grown and you still see the keychain part attached to it, like super huge, I'm like, now that's actually detail.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. I like that. So Hank, or not Hank, Scott fights Falcon to get the one device that they need, which I thought was great. There's also so I'd never seen this guy. Like people went through his IMDb and started shouting out stuff that he was in. Now the guy who played Cross,
yeah,
I've never seen him in anything.
Nope, neither have I.
He was freaking good.
He was.
Like he had like this stuff where he was just like, hey, you know, like he's really like excited and energetic, but then he could like flip it off, just like, hey, stop fucking with me kind of thing. Like, tell me about the serum and stuff. Like he had a way of just like, he was able to switch things in a matter of moments. And I thought that gave that villain like some good, like kind of, to me, I was like, you might be giving Loki a little bit run for his money at this point. Cause he had some really good, like, but then it was also kind of cool. Cause then they mentioned like how the serum's kind of making him go crazy. So, I'm trying to think what else was really cool, like Easter egg wise and stuff.
The biggest Easter egg, Spider-Man reference.
Yes. And that was actually a cool part towards, so we won't spoil too much. I mean, there's really some hilarious moments, especially like the fighting in the bedroom. I thought was great. Again, Kyle and I are not going to go through the entire movie. We're just going to give you the bits and pieces, and we'll tell us your reviews. But yeah, that last part where the guy's all like, well, I know a guy who knows a guy. He's looking for a guy. And then the woman's all like, what kind of guy is he looking for? And they like start spouting off like different like superheroes. Like, there's a guy who climbs walls. You're like, right when I was like, oh my God, Spider-Man. Like right then and there, I was like, oh, he's in the universe. He's in the universe kind of thing.
Basically what they were saying, the way that they did it was basically they're saying, right now, Spider-Man is just a legend in the universe. He's there. He's swinging, trying to save people. But right now, he's only just a legend. He's not like an official thing. I think he'll become more official during Civil War.
Yeah, and then my favorite part, though, at the whole tail end of that like sequence or whatnot, and it's all like, so what do they say? He goes, they say yes. And then a lot of people are like somebody else see it with like, I don't get it. It's like means yes, they want him in the Avengers, and they're like, oh.
Now, this one was. Are you a big SNL fan?
Oh, SNL fan, yeah.
All right, the taxi cab driver.
Yes.
Garrett Morris. People may recognize him more from the show Two Broke Girls. He plays Earl. Basically, there was a skit that they did a while back, and he played Ant-Man in the skit with a bunch of other superheroes. So the fact that they put him in the movie, I'm just like, okay, cool. So they had technically 3 Ant-Man in the movie.
That was freaking hilarious. Yeah, because when I saw him, I was all like, "Hey, wasn't that?" And I was like, "Oh, wait a minute, isn't there that sketch?"
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I thought that was genius.
I actually just watched that sketch yesterday night, and it was freaking hysterical.
Does it hold up?
Oh yeah, it was great. Although like they all treat like DC and Marvel are in the same universe, so I'm kind of like,
Yeah.
But I got over it. I'm like, it's so funny. The fact they had Spider-Woman in it was pretty funny.
But I'm trying to think other Easter eggs.
Did you want to talk about the after credit scene, or you want to leave that?
No, let's talk about it. Like we said, it's already spoilers because I thought it was awesome, and I'm glad we got to see it. I'm actually glad they're bringing that character into it. So we get the post-credit scene. So I will say this. Avengers only had the post-credit scenes. They didn't have anything after it.
Right.
So
Ant-Man
has...
Yeah, it has two. There's a mid-credit scene, and there's a post-credit scene. Mid-credit scene, basically, Hank Pym shows his daughter Hope the Wasp suit, and is like, your mother and I have been working on this for some time, only till now that I just realized we've been working on it for you. So, hopefully in the near future, maybe Civil War, we'll get to see the Wasp.
And which is also kind of cool because it kind of shows you, like, throughout this movie where it showed, like, she already knew how to use a bunch of the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not really going to have to do this whole training thing with her.
Right.
Which is kind of cool. But I think the costume looked phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. I also thought the Wasp suit that they showed of her mother was even better.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say better, but it was still pretty cool. It looked more like the original costume of hers. So, and I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure she's not dead.
Yeah, I don't think she's dead. And they actually talked about a scene that they cut out, which it might be in the Ant-Man director's cut or whatever, maybe something like that, about talking about more of that universe that he dives into.
Uh-huh. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a part where she runs into him and helps him, but then, obviously he forgot everything when he came back, so...
That could have been a thing where it was like her saying, like, hey, you need to do this kind of thing. So, but yeah, and then you got the ending credit scene, which I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, basically Falcon and Captain America are talking, and you see Bucky trapped in, like, some type of, like, tool, whatever, his arms, like, clenched in there and he can't move. You don't really know what's going on much, but basically they're like, should we bring Stark in on this? And he's like, no, something's preventing him from talking to Stark, and, So basically I have a feeling this is actually an actual scene from Civil War. But then, Falcon's like, oh, well, I know a guy. So, yeah. And he's referring to Scott Lang, so that's probably how they're going to bring in Ant-Man. So...
Yeah, so that's going to be actually kind of interesting. And actually, it'll be kind of interesting to see where it's like when Ant-Man joins the Avengers and they have him, like, training with everybody and stuff like that. So, but kudos to Scott Lang for taking out an Avenger on his first run,
I know. Sorry, Falcon, that's not looking good for you.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know about you, but I was a little disappointed that they didn't have him grow.
Yes, which I'm curious if they might save that and start using it within the next movie or so on and so forth.
I'm hoping so because, I was kind of hoping for at least, like, some type of, like, Giant Man or Goliath thing going on, at least just once. Have him, like, grow to, like, supersize to take out Cross. But they didn't do it, so maybe the next movie, because I have a feeling the schedule for Phase 3 might get a little messed up, and they might add Ant-Man 2 into there somewhere.
Yeah, because I don't know if anybody really thought this movie was going to do as well as it's doing.
Yeah. So, again, I love this movie. I highly recommend for people to go see it in theaters if you can.
Yeah, if you have the cash and everything that apparently what I've been hearing is go see it. I think Eric Berry actually saw it, or Ziggy saw it in 3D.
Oh, nice.
And they said it really works well with the 3D. So if you do have the extra cash, I highly recommend seeing it in 3D. But this is what I said about Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, this was a movie that was coming out that a lot of people were like, what the hell is this? And as soon as the trailer came out, I'm like, this is just a movie you're gonna have fun with. It's just a fun movie. It's really just fun and entertaining. It's actually, surprisingly, it's got some stuff where you're kind of like, you do care about these characters. It does have humor in it. It has action in it. So it's just a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Another thing I really loved about the whole thing was the fact that they actually put Scott Lang's daughter in it.
Yes.
Because for those who actually know comics, Cassie, his daughter, actually becomes a superhero. She's part of the Young Avengers. She's Stature. She basically grows and shrinks. Again, for those who don't know the comics, Scott Lang actually does die in the comics. It was during Avengers Disassembled. I think it was like issue 500 or something. And what happened was the Scarlet Witch basically just went crazy and killed Hawkeye and Scott Lang. Well, Scott Lang's still dead in the comics, but Hawkeye eventually comes back. So, and that kind of whole thing there led into the whole House of M story. So, great read for those who haven't read that. But Stature basically becomes, she takes up her father's mantle and becomes a superhero along with a couple of other superheroes, and they formed the Young Avengers. Which, that is probably one of the greatest comic book stories that I can ever recommend to people, is the first run of Young Avengers. It's different. It's just really, really good. So, I highly recommend it. I think it's only like 12 issues because they ended up ending it, but it was like one of the first Marvel books I ever actually read too.
Oh wow! Look at you.
Yeah, when I first got my comic books, I had a pull list, and all I had was like Teen Titans and a couple DC books because I only wanted DC books at the time. Well, when I went to go pick up my books, there was 2 random Marvel books. It was Young Avengers number, I want to say 10 or 8 or somewhere around there, and New Avengers number 12. I read both, and I fell in love, and that's what kind of started my whole Marvel thing. So,
very nice.
I highly recommend, if you can find a trade or just individual issues on eBay or whatever, pick them up. It's a great read.
Very, very cool. Well, I hope to see Ant-Man in more movies or get another movie. So, I mean, Marvel, again, is knocking out of the park. Let's just hope DC can do the same when their movies finally get on track. And they actually, because we do want to see these movies. We do want to see, like, a Green Lantern Corps. We do want to see, we do want to see their universe grow like Marvel has. So, I think it's just kind of funny how a lot of people are just like, oh, these movies are going to suck. I'm like, you guys just don't like things, do you?
Well, I know all the DC movies are going to suck, but that's just my opinion right there.
Oh, come on. Superman Returns was great.
It was.
Anyway, so, Kyle, what would you give Ant-Man? What are we doing? Like, five, what was it, Antoine's out of...
Oh, Antoine.
Antoine.
Oh, I forgot.
I was kind of hoping he would have had a line like that.
Oh.
Where he would have like been punching, I'd be like, this is for this, and this is for this, and this is for Antoine.
Oh, I know, that would have been awesome. Kind of like how they did in Avengers, like in this one. And this is for Phil.
Yeah.
I would give the movie... I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 Red Ants.
9 out of 10 Red Ants?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd be giving it the same. I mean, it's just a fun movie.
A fun movie, action, comedy. It's not like the rest of your Marvel movies. It's got some comedy in it.
Which is actually kind of surprising. Like, now that you mention that, like, it's actually kind of good to see something different come out of Marvel.
Yeah. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy was different as well, don't get me wrong. So that was nice, but Ant-Man was... It was just a great movie. I'm sorry. I just can't stop saying how awesome it was.
It's just fun. So, so go ahead and check it out, kids, if you haven't seen it. And I think that's going to wrap up this episode, unless, Kyle, you have anything to add?
I am Groot.
So, Kyle, where can they find you on the interwebs?
Well, you guys can find me on Twitter at Deadpool_Ranger, and if anyone's been wondering what the hell an underscore is, it's basically an underline of a space. So there you go.
Oh, were people asking you that?
No, but I have a feeling there's probably people out there like, what the hell's an underscore? Why can't I find him on Twitter? I don't know what an underscore is. Google it.
Of course, you can find us at Longboxcast on the Twitter as well, and also at Longboxcast on Instagram. Don't forget to check out all the other great shows on the 4i Radio Network. If you're looking for me on Twitter, I'm at Stephen Mooney Jr., and also on Instagram at S Mooney Jr. And I think that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Longboxcast. Kyle, do you want to take us away with those sweet, sweet words? Yeah, dancing. I'm gonna sing the Doom song now. Can I be a mongoose now?
I was playing with my Deadpool pop vinyl thing. That's why he started doing the whole dancing thing for people who are wondering what the hell just happened. All right, sweet, sweet magical words that Kyle says.
Oh, is that it?
No. I was preparing myself for this.
Sorry.
Long box cast. Too many issues for a short box.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cue that music!
Our world's about to break, tormented and upset, lost from when we wake, no way to go back. I'm standing on my own, but now I'm not alone. Always we will fight as one, till the battle's won. With people on the run, we never come undone. Assemble, we are strong, forever fight as one. Assemble, we are strong, forever fight as one.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
Did you ever listen to my theme song from last week?
Yes, it was amazing.
Yeah.
I can show you the world, shining, shimmer. Oh, wait, I'm doing Aladdin right there. Never mind.
Yeah. Yeah, don't worry. I did the same thing a couple times, too. But so far, no complaints against the song, although one person was like, I can't hear you singing. I'm like, that's by design. I took my words and I basically just like muted them down to being super quiet, and then I just put like the song next to it be just a little louder. So that's why I'm like, if you can hear the words, that's all you need. Just
You can always
don't-
make like a music video with subtitles or something like that. Yeah.
Right.
You. Look at this stuff. Isn't it neat? I don't know.
Yeah, no, God no. I can't sing. Okay,
It's all right.
I just have like a nasally voice thing that just does not work. My wife even hates it when I sing.
Well, don't do karaoke.
I never plan on it. The only time I ever sing is when I'm in the car alone.
Alone in the dark, I sing.
Although if my wife's in the car with me, she won't let me sing.
Oh, wow.
But it's okay. I sing inside my head.
Man, our post credit stuff. People are like, "Why do I even stay for this?"
I don't even know if people do stay for this.
Probably not.
Okay, you know what? If people actually know about the post-credit scene, send us a tweet or a Facebook comment or something, just letting us know that you actually listen to these. Because if not, then...
Oh, I just came up with a great thing to do now.
Ooh, what is it?
So for the long box cast that we want to put together, the
You mean
box.
the long box?
Well, yeah, but no one's gonna listen to this anyways. But but what I mean is, like, we would have to tell them, it's like, okay, now that we have the box put together and everything like that, tell us what your favorite post credit was on our show. People be like, wait, what?
No. Let's make that question during the post-credits.
Yeah, that's so.
So basically, we could be holding on to this box for like ever because no one knows about the post credits. They just hear the theme song and then whatnot and be like, okay, it's over.
Well, that's what we're gonna find out.
Despite the fact that there's like probably like an extra like 2 minutes on their podcast recording saying, you have 2 minutes left. Why the hell is the theme song playing?
Who knows? But it's just what we do. It's what we do.
It's what we do. We're a verb. It's what you do.
Yeah, we put Easter eggs at the end of things.
Mine's filled with candy.
Mine's filled with AIDS.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Deep.
things got dark really quick.
I know. You know what'll make things better?
What?
Deadpool holding a chimichanga.
Post credits.